Okay, so here is a voltage source, and here the voltage it should be marked as like this. That is plus terminal, minus terminal, and that is a resistance of person. That is R1. What is the value for resistance R1 over there? I will give it. That is R1 as 50 ohms. Okay, and one more resistance here, and this is 40 ohms. Okay, another current source here. So this is the we have to mark the node, right? There is only one node, that is as V1. Okay, now what you have to write? You have to apply the which law? KCL at where? At the node A. If you take this as node A, then you have to take apply KCL at the node A. Okay, how will we apply KCL here? The current incoming is I1, and the current incoming other source current is I2, and which is the current leaving away from it? This I3. So we will write as the current incoming, that is current entering into the junction is equal to what? The current leaving away from it. So I1 plus I2 is equal to what? I3. So we can bring this I3 over on the left hand side. So it becomes I1 plus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. Now you know you want to find what? You have to find the current value. I1 we don't know, and the current I3 we don't know. Okay, and we know the current in the question it is given. The voltage source is given as 20 volt. The value of the resistance is given. We want to find what? The current I1 as well as I3. And in the question itself, the current I2 is given. I2 is what? It is given as 4 amps. So we need to find I1 and I3. So for now, what is the current I1 which is flowing over the resistance R1? It is what is if you consider this as a node, if it is 20 volt, then what is present here then? 20 volt, right? So here it is V1. So we are considering the current I1 to the resistance R1. So how will we writing that is 20 minus V1 by the resistance flowing is R1. Clear? That is 20 minus V1 by R1. That is the current I1 which is flowing through the resistance R1. Any doubt here? No. Next. And the current I3. The current I3 which is flowing through the resistance 40 volt. Okay. And we can name it as R1 and this is as R2. Okay. And here only the load voltage is what? V1. So we will be writing it as I is equal to. This is how we will be writing, that is 20 minus V1 by R1 by applying to Ohm's law. That is we know that I is equal to what? V by R. If the resistance is in between the two voltages, one that is 20 and other is V1. So we are writing it as 20 minus V1 by R1. Clear? So here the resistance is only to the node voltage what? V1. So we are writing it as V1 by R2. So now we know that 20 minus V1, we don't know the value for V1. So 20 by V1 by what is the value for R1? It is 50. That is the current I1. And for I3 it is what? V1 by what is the value for R1? It is 40. So what we want in order to find the current I1 and I3, we want to know the value for V1. Okay. So to find the value for V1, what we are going to do? We are going to just apply. We have to substitute this I1, I3 as well as the known value of I2 to this equation. Just take this as equation 1, and this is equation and 2, and this is equation 3. Okay, now I am going to do what? I am going to substitute the equation 2, the equation 3 and the known value of I2. In where? In equation number 1. Okay, what is the equation number 1? That is I1 plus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. And what is the value for I1 which is present in the equation 2? That is 20 minus V1 by the resistance 40 ohm. Sorry, resistance is 50 ohm. Here, next, what is the current I2 which is given in the question itself? That is 4 amps. Just apply it as 4 amps. Okay, and next, what is the current I3 that is given? I3 is equal to V1 minus V1 by 40 ohm. That is equal to what? 0. So if we take a solve LCM and we solve it, means what is the value for we will be getting for V1? So it will be like here it's a 50. So it will be writing it like this. That is minus V1 plus 4 into 9. 50 into 40, that is equal to 0. Correct? This is how we will be taking LCM, right? So if you multiply over inside means how it will be 800 minus 40 V1, and here if you multiply means 5 to the 20. 20 into 4, that will become 800. Right? So here it is minus 50 V1 is equal to 0. If I bring this denominator to the right hand side means it will become 0. Right? So now solve and tell me the answer for V1. That is minus 40 V1 minus 50 V1 will become minus 90 V1. That is equal to 800 plus 800 will become. If I take that to the right hand side means it will become. So shall I cancel both the minus over here? So what is the value for V1? What it is? So here 200 into 5,000. Okay. Now tell me. Which is 8,000 plus 800, right? Now tell me, what is the value for V1? 97.77. We have calculated what? V1. So we have to write it as volt V. Okay, now we know the value for V1. Shall I substitute in the equation 2 and 3 to get the value for I1 as well as I3? Can you able to follow me? And now substitute V1 in where? The second equation as well as in the third equation. The second equation is I1 is equal to 20 minus V1. What is the V1 which we have found? That's 7.77 divided by, what is the resistance over there? 50. So now tell me what is the value for current? Minus 1.5 amps. Right? Okay. So everyone must have a calculator, right? So I1 is what? Minus 1.5 amps. And on substituting I2, that is V1 by V1 is what? 97.77 divided by 40 ohms. That is equal to what? How much of current in I2? 2.44 amps. That's it. Okay. So now, sorry, I3. So now, this is your current which we want to find out. That is the current I1 as well as I3. That's all. Okay. Current analysis. So listen carefully. In mesh current analysis, first what you have to do is, first we have to mark the flow of current. Okay. So for our convenient, we are marking it as the current flow is in the clockwise direction. Okay. So the current flow, the first loop is I1 and the current flow here it is I2. We are marking it for our convenience. But how will be the current flow? Here it is right. It will flow from this direction, right? I1. But here how it has to flow? The actual current flow is anti-clockwise. But for our calculation, making it easy, what we have done it, we have taken it in the clockwise direction. Okay. And first you have to consider the mesh. Okay. PQ, yes, P. Okay. For this alone, we are going to consider. So consider the mesh P, Q, S and P. Okay, you can mark it here if it is P. You can mark here it as P, Q, or if it is S, this T, this is U. You can mark it like this. Then the loop is P, Q, S, T, sorry, P, Q, T, U. Okay, you can mark it like this also. Okay, first you are going to consider what? P, Q, T, U. The current flow here is what? I1. Okay. Next, what you have to keep in mind is if it is minus 2 plus. If it is minus 2 plus, you have to write it as plus. Okay. If it is, follow this till the end. If it is plus to minus, mark it as minus. Okay, follow this till the end for whatever the problem which we are going to solve using the mesh current analysis. Okay, so now first, it is what means the voltage value here it is 120. Okay, so minus 2 plus it is here. The current flows is in the clockwise direction. How will we be writing the first equation for the loop? PQ How will we be writing it? It is plus 120. Okay. Next you want to do what means you have to mark the flow of current. Okay. The flow of current for how it will flow means it's for our consideration it will flow from plus to minus. Okay. It will flow from plus to minus. So you have to mark this polarity. Okay. Plus minus. And here it is plus minus. Am I right? In which direction you are putting I1? In the direction I1 போடுறியோ அந்த directionல நீ என்ன பண்ணணும் ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ்ல என்ன பண்ணணும் plus minus னு போடணும். Okay, and here இங்க என்ன மாதிரி flow இல்லையா? So how will we marking it? Plus minus clear? அப்படினாமா next what is we have to write the equation for this first loop. That is 120. Next என்ன பண்ணனும் plus minus என்ன same formula minus. Okay, now the resistance என்னது நம்ம என்ன சோர்ஸ் எழுதி இருக்கிறோம் voltage. அப்போ we are applying what here KVL, right? So V equal to another I into R. The current passes through the first is what? I1. The resistance எடுத்தோம்னா வேல்யூ என்ன போடணும் 30. ஓகேவா? அப்ப நம்ம எப்படி எழுதணும் 30 into I1. So minus plus to minus என்ன சைடு போட சொன்னேன் minus. So minus 30 I1. Clear? Next there where comes the current I1? The resistance here 10 ohm. 10 ohms. 10 ohm resistance I1 is also here, V is also flowing there, I2 is also there. So how we to write I1 minus I2. Okay, we are considering the first loop follow. So we are having the current I1 minus I2. So it is also plus to minus. So the sign is minus. The resistance value here it is 10. So the current is the resistance 10 ohm is in between I1 and I2, so it should be written as I1 minus I2. Clear? This is equal to what? The KVL law. What it is? The sum of all the voltage drops is equal to 0. Have you all understood? Let us say it again. Listen. First, we have considered the first loop. That is P, Q, T, U. Okay. It is in your book like P, Q. This is R and here it is S. First I will predict something like that is we will be writing as PQ S. Only PQ SP. If it is you can write it like that also. For your convenient I will keep it as PQ or SPQ. Okay. So I am considering only PQ TU. The first loop. Okay. The current which is flowing through the first loop is the current I1. Okay. Before that you have to know this. If it is minus 2 plus 2 should be written as plus 2 minus should be written as minus. These things we are already knowing it. Okay, and you are applying what? KVL. For KVL we know what? V is equal to I into R. So the current to the first loop is I1, and we have to consider the resistance which is this flowing individually. Okay, here the resistance individual is 30 ohms. First the current I1 flows through the 30 ohms, but it is flowing through first we have assumed the polarity of each resistance. Now it is the current flows from where to where? Plus to minus. So based on the clockwise direction, plus minus you have marked already. So since it is the resistance with the sign plus minus minus. The resistance over there is 30, and the current flowing through it is I1. Clear? The next two resistance which is common to both the current I1 and I2. That the resistance value is 10 ohms. Here the polarity is from plus to minus. So plus to minus means we will write it minus. The of that is equal to 0. We calculate the KCL. So now can we solve it for the first equation? So how it will be? 120 minus 30I1. Just multiply this 10 over inside. So it will become minus 10I1. Minus will become plus 10I2 is equal to 0. Okay, shall we add this both? So that is minus 40I1 plus 10I2. So I bring this minus 120 for the right hand side. Minus 120. So shall I change the sign for the entire equation? So if I change it, it will become 40I1 minus 10I2 is equal to 120 is equation number 1. In maths, you must solve the quadratic equations, right? xy 5x plus 10y is equal to some constant value. X plus 15x plus 3y is equal to some constant value. What you will be doing? You will be multiplying the second first equation with another 3. So it will the x coefficients will become will become 15. So it will be cancelling with each other and you will be finding the value for y. Have you all remember that maths calculation which you have done in your students? So what we have to do after finding out the value for y, you have to substitute any of the equation to find the value of x. For that only we are doing in such a way. Okay. So this is equation number 1. And now what we are going to do? We have to apply the mesh for the second. That is mesh over there where below Q or S T. Again, sorry, we have to mark that also. It is back to where? Q. And here it is back to where? P. Okay, then here. So now for our convenience, have you ever considered a clockwise flow of I2? Okay, but here, when we are considering clockwise, plus 2 minus 6, how we have to write out? Plus 2 minus 6, we have to write as minus 60. Okay, and now here. Okay, the current flow is how? Plus 2 minus. How will we write it out? Minus 10. But the 10 one is common to and I2 as well as I1. Okay, here who should be mentioned first? I2. So how will we write it? I2 minus I1. So it is written as I2 minus I1. Okay, next who is the integral resistance over there? Plus 2 minus. Who is there? Q15 is minus. The resistance over there is 50. The current flowing through it is I2. So it will write it as minus 50 I2. Can you able to follow me? That is equal to what? 0. The sum of the voltage drop which we have applied in the loop. That is applying KVL to the loop. Q or SEQ. Should I say it again? See, we are coming from the voltage source. Like how we are come from the voltage source here. Okay, here also we are coming from the voltage source. Plus 2 minus should be written as minus. So it is plus minus here. We have considered it as clockwise direction. Okay, so plus 2 minus 4 will be writing it as minus 16. The next flow is through the resistance which is common to the current I2 as well as I1. The resistance value is there as 10. So here it is also plus 2 minus which we have marked initially the current flow. If it is clockwise direction, it will be marked as plus 2 minus. At the first step, for plus minus. If the flow plus minus. Next plus minus. Plus minus. Okay, so now plus minus total minus 10 into which is common to both. So you have written it as I2 minus I1. Next the current flow through the individual resistance that is 50 ohm. That is also plus minus. So we will be writing it minus 50 I2 equal to 0. That is KCL. Sum of the voltage drop across the all element is equal to what? 0. Have you all understood? Now can we solve this for the equation 2? So how it will become? Minus 60 minus 10 I2 plus 10 I1 minus 50 I2 is equal to what? 0. And now minus 60, shall I add this both? It will become minus 60 I2 is equal to, shall I bring this? Okay, let it be first now take equal to 0. So now shall I bring this minus 60 over here? So it is minus 60 I2 plus 10 I1 is equal to 60. Shall I interchange this and write? That is, we are going to write the first I1 term and next the I2 term. That is 10 I1 minus 60 I2 is equal to 60. Mark this as equation number 2. Now I am going to do, I am going to solve the equation 1 and 2 to get the value for the I1 and I2. You know, only thing you want to know is just to find out the loop, that is mesh. After finding that, you have to write, you should know to write the, apply the KVL or write the equation. Equation எடுத்தனா solve பண்ணிட்டு equation கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டனா easy. அதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீ பண்ண போறது maths தான். Clear? You must know to frame this as well as this alone. If you have framed that, further coming calculation is easy for you. So now what we are going to do? We are going to solve the equation number 1 and 2. Okay. If you solve it, what is the first equation? 40I1 minus 10I2 is equal to 120. So here, shall I multiply the second equation with 4? If I multiply this, it will become 40, right? I can able to cancel the I1, right? So I am multiplying the second equation with multiplication 4. Okay. So 10 into 4 will become 40 I1. 60 into 4 will become 240 I2. Again 60 into 4 40 will become 240. Okay. Correct தானே? Sign change பண்ணலாமா? Minus plus minus. So if we change the sign, this will get cancel. What about this? 240 minus that is 230 I2 is equal to what? Minus 240. Sorry, minus 120. Apply and tell me the answer. That is what is the value for I2 then? I2 is equal to minus 120 divided by 230. What it is? The answer will be minus 0.532 or what? 521. 521. What is here? Answer. So now I know the value for I2. Shall I substitute in one of the equation to find out the I1? So substitute the value for I2 in equation number 1. Okay. If you substitute that, what it is? 40 I1 minus 10 into the value here minus 0.521 is equal to what? 120. So if it is minus into minus, it will become plus. That is 40 I1 plus 10 into which it will become 5.21 is equal to 120. So 40 I1 is equal to 120 minus 5.21. Again I1 is equal to, if you subtract it, what does it is? 1179 divided by 40. What is the value for I1 then? 2.86. 2.86. Up to this. Are you all clear up to this? Now, one thing we are going to do. Okay. What we have assumed for our easy calculation, we have assumed both the current on in clockwise direction. But actually, what I have told you, actually, if you see the circuit, your question today is if the current flows from minus to plus over here means here it is also flows through this direction. If I take over here, the first loop clockwise, the second loop anti-clockwise, you will confuse ஆகும். நீங்க confuse ஆகும் அப்படினா இந்த minus plus confuse ஆகும். புரியுதா? இது ஸ்டாண்டர்டா வெச்சுக்கோ. That is minus 2 plus அப்படினா plus. Plus 2 minus அப்படினா minus. இந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் இது எப்போ மிஸ் ஆயிடும் அப்படினா first if you are considered as clockwise, second if you are considering it in anti-clockwise means this stable thing cannot be applied. You confuse ஆயிடும். என்ன பண்ணிட்டோம்னா சைனை மாத்தி போட்டுங்க so that the correct value may come wrongly. புரியுதா? இது ஸ்ட்ராங்கா ஸ்டேட்டா வச்சிருக்கோம் அப்படினா ரெண்டுமே clockwise ல யூஸ் பண்ணிடணும். அதனால we have done it clockwise to clockwise direction. Okay, now you are clear? But the actual circuit diagram, how the current flows? But the actual current flow means how you in the same diagram we have to write that here. The actual current flow through the circuit. We have to write it as the actual current flow through the circuit. அப்படின்னு எழுதிட்டு you have to draw it like this. புரிஞ்சுதா? You have to draw the same circuit diagram just by changing the current. After drawing that, what you have to do here? What have been asked? The current I1, current I2, total current I2. Current I1 is what? There is no change in it. Here there is no change in it. In this clockwise we have assumed the current flow there is also clockwise. But in current 2, we assumed it that is all in clockwise direction, but the actual flow is in anti-clockwise direction. So what we have to do? We have to change the sign. That's it. Here it is minus. So what we have to do? After drawing the actual circuit diagram, the current flow through the second loop, that is QRSTQ. The I2 is plus 0.52. Sorry, no, okay. You first initially copy up to this, then I will tell you. First initially copy up to this. Listen all of you. Now this is your circuit which is given. We have marked the current flow in the clockwise direction, and here the voltage source is here like plus minus 120, and here it is also plus minus 60. But what is the current flow here? Actually it is right? Clockwise direction it is right. The current flow here it is clockwise I1, that is right. Here if it is clockwise, that is right means here it is also shooting the here plus minus plus like this direction. It should be like this. But we have assumed the way what? For our convenience of calculation purpose, we have assumed it in clockwise. So you have to draw the actual circuit. Okay. So the actual current flow in the circuit. Okay, that it is. Say draw the same circuit diagram. Don't talk, listen, see. What is the value of this resistance 30 ohm? See, the actual current flow of the circuit here it is I1, but here it is the current I2 will be in the anti-clockwise direction. So, what I have found for the clockwise direction, the current I2 is minus. So I am going to change the polarity. That is minus of minus 0.521. So the actual current flow in the second loop, you have to write it as actual current I2. Actual current I2 is equal to what? Plus 0.521 amps. So how shall I find out the total current? That is I is equal to I1 plus I2. What is the value for I1? We have found that 2.86 plus what is the value for I2 here? 0.521. For finding out the total current, you have to draw the actual current flow, actual current that is flowing, finding out the total current. Okay, so what is the value here for I? 3.38 amps. That's it.